The civil rights movement, also known as the African American Civil Rights Movement, was a movement which goal was to secure legal recognition for all Americans against the racial segregation and discrimination. It spread during the late 19th century. This movement promoted campaigns that protest and claim the importance of the secure new recognition of federal protection for all Americans. The most popular representation of this movement was Martin Luther King Jr., that helped in all matters of strategies.
Now, did you have any special training for this kind of leadership when you were a boy?
No, I really didn't. I had no idea that I would be catapulted into a position of leadership in the civil rights struggle in the United States. I went through the discipline of early elementary school education and then high school and college and theological training, but never did I realize that I would be in a situation where I would be a leader in what is now known as the civil rights struggle of the United States.
Is your father, who's also...
It all started on May 17 in 1954 when the Supreme Court ruled in Brown v. Board of Education that mandating or permitting public or schools to be excluded by race was unconstitutional. The following year, known for the case Brown 2, ordered that segregation should be phased out over time with all their deliberate speed. During Lyndon Johnson administration from 1963 to 1968, he made civil rights his highest priority. With money for loans designed to business ownership, he set up the Office of Minority Enterprise (OMBE), expecting that black entrepreneurs would diffuse racial segregation in order to support his reelection.
100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
Talking about passage of federal laws, we have the Civil Rights Act of 1957, which was the support for racial equality after the U.S. Supreme Court's 1954 decision. The Civil Rights Act of 1960 established the federal expectation of local voter registration polls. Then the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which outlaws discrimination based on race, color, sex, religion, or national origin. Then we have the Voting Rights Act of 1965, prohibits racial discrimination in voting. And finally, we have the Civil Rights Act of 1968, which provided equal housing opportunities regardless of race, religion, sex, or national origin. Also, we think that Martin Luther King was a very important leader for all these people because he had a clear idea about what he want. He fight for rights, he fight for non-distinction school, for interracial marriages, and I think that it's important not to have stereotype about people like being blonde and tall, white, like color doesn't matter, sex, religion, or national origins is like everyone is a human being and it's important to recognize it.